I have very few memories of my first mom. I remember she did make me an outfit, made it out of flour bags. Flour would come in sacks, and she made me a skirt and a tie that matched. So I do remember that. So maybe I get some of my sewing skills from her. um, and the only other real memory I have of her is the night that she passed away. So it's not really good memories. It was just really hard because I was so young, and my dad woke me up in the middle of the night and said, get up, your mom's sick, I have to take her to the hospital, and you need to be awake with your brothers, which was Bill and Bob, and they were 2.5 years younger than me. So I got up, and he went to take her out to the car, and she stopped breathing, so he brought her back in, and we called a neighbor that was on the volunteer fire department, and they came, and I tried to give CPR, but I didn't know really what I was doing. But they left and took her to the hospital, but she died. The time after my first mom passed away seemed very hard. My sister Patty and her husband Frank and their little boy Paul moved in with us. They had only probably been married maybe 2 years, something like that, not a long time. But they had moved in with us to help my dad with the family, and seemed to work for a while, but didn't work for very long. So they moved out, and I had a couple aunts that helped out and things like that. But someone that my dad worked with knew a lady that was single, had never been married, and wanted to set him up, I guess, on a blind date. So that blind date ended up being my second mom, and it was just meant to be. It couldn't have been any better. Of course, you don't realize that when you're still living there, because it's someone that's taking the place of your first mom, and you don't, understand that, and you almost feel guilty to think, good thoughts about someone that's taking her place. But must have been written in the stars, because she had never had children, always lived at home, and here she married my dad and 5 kids. So, to this day, you would not know. I've even had people say, "Oh yeah, I can see the resemblance between you and your mom." And so I said, "Yeah, I know." But yeah, so she's just like my mom. She's just mom too. As a teenager, you don't like anybody. You don't like your mom, you don't like your dad, you don't like your brothers, you don't like your sisters. The only people you like are your friends. That they don't like anybody either. So really, we weren't close when I lived at home, because I was a teenager that was resentful because, she married my dad, she took my dad away from us, all those things that, they're really not true, but you think they are when you're a teenager. So it was after I got married and had kids that we really began to have a relationship. Yeah, she's the rock of the family. I would say that she's a tough cookie.